Hello everyone, I am Ginny from Info Prime. Today I'm gonna tell you about
Preactive phase of teaching. In this topic, I would like to explain introduction, definition of teaching, phases of teaching, preactive phase of teaching, operation of teaching at preactive phase, conclusion and references. First is introduction. As we all know that teaching is an important part of the process of education. Its special function is to impart knowledge, develop understanding and skill. Now, the definition of teaching. Teaching is an art of assisting another by providing information and appropriate situation, conditions or activities designed to facilitate learning, the process by which one person helps another to achieve knowledge, skill and aptitude. Now the phases of teaching. There are three phases of teaching. The first is preactive phase, which also known as planning stage. The second is interactive phase, which also known as implementation stage. And the last is post-active stage, which also known as evaluation phase. The preactive phase of teaching. It is the phase of planning for teaching. Good planning makes the task of a teacher so smooth, makes it too functional and successful too. In this, it includes two major steps: establishment of some kinds of goals or objectives, discovering ways and means to achieve these objectives. The operation of teaching at preactive phase. Before classroom teaching, a teacher has to perform many tasks before entering the classroom, and this involves the formulation or fixing up of goal, selection of content and subject matter to be taught, the arrangement of ideas and style of teaching, selecting institutional methodology, development of teaching strategies, and a decision about evaluation tools and techniques. The first stage is the formulation or fixing up of goal. In this, the teacher formulates in detail the instructional objectives in behavioral terms by using the taxonomy of educational objectives. Objectives one determined according to the student's psychology and the needs of the society and the school, and also according to the changes teacher expects in students by achieving these objectives. The second stage is selection of content and subject matter to be taught. After fixation of teaching objectives, teacher decides about the content to be presented before learners, and for content selection, following points should be kept in mind. The first is the demand of the syllabus and curriculum, the entry behavior of the accepted learners, level of motivation of learners, teacher's preference for assessment related to the content. The third is the arrangement of ideas and style of teaching. After selecting the presentable content, the teacher arranges the elements of the content in a logical and psychological sequence, but it had to make sure that the sequencing should be able to assist in the transfer of learning. The fourth stage is selecting institutional methodology. The teacher has to select appropriate strategies and tactics of teaching, keeping in view of the content and objectives of teaching, and this operation is very important in teachers' education program. The fifth stage is development of teaching strategies. The teacher should decide beforehand about the strategies and tricks which he has to use during the course of his classroom teaching. He should decide about when and what device of teaching should be used, when the teaching aids will be used, and when recapitulation or evaluation etc. will be done. The sixth stage is deciding the duration, place, and management of classroom teaching. And the last stage is a decision about evaluation tools and techniques. In this stage, it is about working out of the details the teaching or activities a teacher want to perform in the class. Here, the teacher hypothesizes about the possible outcome of his action. In the end, I would like to conclude that the preactive phase of teaching focuses on bringing desired behavior changes in the students. It provides the scientific basis for developing effective instructions of the teaching. The classroom teaching and interaction can be made effective with this background. Teaching operations ultimately create the appropriate conditions for learning for achieving the desired goals, and this teaching can be organized effectively at different levels. In this process, the teaching starts even before the teacher enters the classroom. It continues even after the classroom. It continues even after the classroom interaction in the form of evaluation, feedback, and other activities.